So covered the combining. One thing I want to do is, okay, so what if you wanted to separate this? Well, that's also easy to do. It's under Mesh, Combine menu. Little sub menu has Booleans, combine, and separate. So separate just creates 4 items, 5, sorry, because we have 4 little wheels and a body. But if I select one of them and hit my arrow key up, you see it looks like we're back in the combined geometry. Well, I'll show you by opening the outliner. What we did was actually we separated the pieces, but it created this little node, and it kept the original naming convention of the mesh and created a empty container called a group node. So the 5 meshes that were combined and then uncombined have now been renamed polysurface 1 through 5 because we don't have any other geometry with that name. So polysurface is just a generic term for geometry that's not primitive. So these are now not primitives anymore, even though they look like them, but because they've gone through some Maya operations. So so the group node now can be moved around, and everything will move intact and stay intact, but we are dealing with separate meshes, so that if I go into just selection mode and grab one of the wheels, we could center the pivot of every wheel, and you'll see that now moving back to the group node, we've got vehicle moving on its axis with all the parts moving at the same time, but we could also rotate the wheels individually, turn the wheels individually. We could group these two and center the pivot, and now when we move the manipulator, you see we get kind of like an axial feel to it. So that's just very basic. Might seem very basic, but it's good to get in the habit of, you know, combining, separating, grouping, and understanding how Maya sort of creates things in a hierarchy with unique properties and pivots for each of the nodes. So you could even rename this, you know, front axle, and do the same for the rear group, center pivot, rear axle.